I just updated my terrain generator to version 44. The main thing I added on this one is adding flower objects to the terrain. Wanted to step through it here real quick. Basically, I've shown all this before. I'm going to do a world size 482. We'll do 150 on the mesh height. I think everything else looks good. Do a show map, and that's what the map will look like there, the overhead view. We're just going to export it real quick here. So that created a new folder. I don't have anything visually showing success, but it's show right here. 482. That's 11:21, 9:41 p.m. So that's the new folder that was just created. And what it does is it creates maps, color map, color mesh, and a terrain map, along with the noise map and the fall off map. And these are the terrains it saves. And then these are all the textures it uses. These details are for the detailed textures for tiles and stuff. And then this is the settings file. Just saves all the settings. So now that we got all that saved, what we can do is load it. Go back to start menu, go to load terrain, and load the one we just saved. And what this will do now is it'll allow us to add objects. Typically you'll want to add the grass first. We'll go with these settings here, except for this needs to be 21.5 and 23. Go to update. We'll turn on our player. So that'll show them there, and then when we turn on the water, I think the water is 20.5. Yeah. So then turn on the water. And we got one. Basically, this grass object here with these settings will allow for the grass to look like that, and it's a total of 53,000 grass. So what is that? 53,000 quads on all 4 terrains will have grass on them. And then we'll add another one. Change the color here to that. This one here will be a little bit less, with less placement chance. 21.4, a little lower, and 23.2. And everything else looks good there. So what that did, that just added a little bit of a color variation, like dead grass. And then I wanted to add another one for higher. And that'll be 2, the low placement chance. This one here will go with 23.2 to say 50. And it takes into account the slope range, so it won't place grass on very steep slopes. And then you'll be able to see that placed like these grasses right here. Run over here and show it real quick. That's a pretty good FPS for, what was that, 70,000 grass. The grass uses the GPU, it doesn't use the CPU, so you can't really interact with it. It's just for graphical purposes, but I think it looks pretty good. And then the other thing is I got the tiles that can be used now. These are all the different tiles I got. Brick, cobblestone, granite, marble, hard dirt, fertile dirt, wood square, and then some worn path textures, a wagon trail, and then my favorite's the stone square. And when you place them, it clears the grass all the way around the tile so that no grass will grow over on top of the tile. Let's place some tiles here real quick. Then we'll do some of this. Some of this. We'll place these. Place these. And these ones. Oh, forgot some here. So there we go. Now I got some really cool stone looking tiles. So when I get the structure part where I can start building stuff, I'm going to use blocks to build structures. So anyways, that's all kind of repetitive stuff I've already done. The new thing I got going now is the flowers. So I clicked add flower and it added this. This is the default flower. It's a daisy. I got to place it at, we'll do 21 and 23. I think all the other settings are good. Click update and you can see where they all popped in there. And that's what they look like there. I thought they looked pretty cool, little simple flowers. Just use some quads. Those will be interactable though. Those are for the so the player will be able to pick them and plant them and stuff. Because who doesn't like picking flowers? And we'll add another flower here. This will be for the rose. And we'll go with 22 and 25 height. And rename this to rose. Click update. And you see those ones popped in over here. You can see this only placed 160 roses. That's over all 4 terrains. The thing I'm trying to figure out here is why the flowers take away from the FPS so much. I mean, it's still good. It's over 300 still. Then I got one more flower here. We'll do this. Change that to the lavender. And this one here we'll go with 23 to 50. Rename this lavender. Click update. I placed 153. Now these ones here are going to be on a little bit higher ground. So you have to run over here. Might have to make these a little fatter though, because you can't. They're kind of hard to see unless you're zoomed in. See, I see one up there. Yeah, there's a couple there. You see one right here. There's another one right there. But yeah, I might have to make the actual flowers a little fatter so they show up better. But what we'll do here, but basically you see it knocked me down to 275 with 3 flower sets. Total of 1, 2, 3, 420, 400, like 475 flower objects. it's not too good. But what we'll do, we'll zoom out, and with the player, when I click on the player, it uses LOD, so it turns off all the terrains that aren't in view, turns off all the grass and all the flowers that aren't in view. So it's a little homebrew LOD manager. I thought it worked pretty good, but can't export it with the player when you're in the player view, so you have to click the player off, then click export terrain, and what that did is it saved all that info to the folder that we loaded from. So in textures now you'll see I have a flowers folder with the daisy, lavender, rose, and then that's the flower stock texture. You see the rose there. I painted that. That was pretty cool, I thought. Actually, I painted all those. The lavender and the daisy and the flower stock. The flower stock looks kind of goofy, but it works for now. But so now that exported that, so what we're going to do is we're going to reload it. And see how this goes here. You see it's a blocking thread. Oh, looks like oh no, everything's okay. But what that did is it's not taking into account the tiles for some reason. In fact, looks like some of them aren't getting deleted either. So I'll have to do some more tweaking there. But one thing I wanted to do was, this was pretty cool. I crank all these. Oh, oh my God, there's all kinds of stuff going on here. Let's delete all those. There we go. That's better. Oh, that's what it was when instead of starting the program over, when I go back to the start menu, I need to clear out all the flower objects. They're hung over from the previous session, so I'll fix that. But I want to crank all this stuff up because it looked really cool. Turn this down to 20. And we'll do 20 and 20 on that. And go over here where there's a lot more grass. Oh, we gotta turn the water on too. I thought the grass was looking pretty cool, especially when it's real nice and thick like that. Then we'll turn these flowers up. Say 50. See how it blocks it out. And we'll go 50 here. And we'll go 50 on the lavender. I thought this looked really cool. Look at that, how many flowers there are now. Let me do the see, I'm only getting 8 frames per second with everything showing. And I turn the player back on and we're back up to 180. That's because every time I click the player off, it'll show the full view, and then when I turn it back on, it'll the LOD manager will kick back on and hide all the new stuff we just added. But you see all the flowers now. I got 14, that's 25, 3,700 flower objects now. Getting 120 FPS, which is pretty good. But you'll see, I'll run over here, you'll see when this drops down. Yep, right there, drop down. That means I got 2 terrains drawn at the same time right now with all the flowers. But I thought that looks pretty cool. I like how you could, I got the updating working pretty good. Turn these flowers down a little bit. But it's going to be really cool once I add trees and stones and boulders and bushes, all different kinds of bushes. And I got a whole list of other flowers I'm going to add into, like tulips and orchids and poppies and sunflowers and stuff like that, carnations. So I'm going to add those in too. Anyways, that's where the update's at now. And thank you for watching.